And they're finding out with isometrics that they can help with the brain rewiring a little bit to improve the function. We created 5 isometric 2-foot positions, really. It's 2-foot positions, 3 thigh positions, but it's an isometric. And here, what we have is the thigh positions. You basically do these foot positions in a deep squat, a mid-level squat, and a straight leg. And the foot position is basically stretched on the edge of a plate or wherever you want to be, or in the highest level. So these are basically the end ranges of the foot. So it's the beginning of the movement and at the end. And then I'll do it with a toe curl. So I'll play this video. So here's how we get into it. So this is spring ankle 1. So he gets in there, he gets in the position with 2. I'll get out of your way. And then he extends his foot as far down as he can. He gets into the deep squat position, and then he removes it. And he'll hold that for 60 seconds. But where the highest level is at is I have 130-pound females in that position, deep squat, and I have 250 pounds pushing on them as hard as I can, and they'll hold it for 10 seconds. You see the difference? That foot position exercise of the stress that's going on versus like a calf raise doesn't hit the end range like this. Now, the next one is the same position, but with the high foot. So it's the same position for the knee. So it's a deep squat. And then you'll see him he lifts his toes up as high as he can, and then he takes it out. And he's pushing. And then that's 60 seconds. And then we'll do it for 30 with weight. And then eventually, once we get to the 10-second loading model, is where you're in all 5 of these positions, and I'm pushing violently. My athletes are pushing violently on that. Okay? And what we've seen is crazy changes in foot, running gait. Kids flare their knees out. People flaring their arms out when they run. Where does it stem from? A lot of it can stem from the foot. I've seen the foot strike the ground incorrectly, have weak feet, shuts the lateral sling off. Why does the arm swing out when you run? The body needs to stabilize itself. So it's because there's no stability here, the body swings the arm out. I turn the arch on, or the hip, whatever it needs, and the arm comes in without coaching them. So they're running like this, or running like this. You fix the foot, like that arch reset I just did, and the arm actually swings back in. So I try to coach people into movements without coaching them. I try to find out what's the problem. So is that a placebo effect? Maybe. But I can get that kid to run without telling him to coach. Because you got a world-class kid, and I've done this for coaches that come see me. I'm not a track coach. They bring their people over to have me work with them, and the coach, and he's running with his arms out. He's like, oh, I got to teach that guy to run with his arm. See his right arm, he's got to hold it in. So you're telling me you got a world-class athlete, you're going to say, run down the track as fast as you can and hold your left arm in. You can't do that. But if you can get that athlete, okay, to get the lateral sling on or the arch, then that arm comes in without coaching, and he only has to think, run down the track as fast as I possibly can. The next exercise is, it's really the same as the ones you did. The deep ankle, it's just a higher squat. So those are exercise 3. So he's just in a higher squat position this time. And he's trying to get his calf as deep as he can. It's at the bottom range, and you want to have tension. You don't want him to relax. And they're pushing down into the ground. And then he'll do the high calf position. So there's 2-foot positions, deep squat, high deep squat of the ankle, mid squat, high squat of the ankle on the mid squat. And then the last one, and look, here's the deal. The last one is a straight-legged high foot, because you'll never be straight-legged with the foot at the bottom. Does that make sense? Now, and you'll find people struggle with this. People struggle with this. Why? Their foot's not strong and they haven't applied enough stress. This solves so many foot problems that I've seen with the foot. Just these 5. I'm not saying it's the end-all be-all, but these are the 5 best that we've come up with using isometrics. What I'll do, who's in charge? Is somebody in charge here? Would it be Tex or Luke? Are they here? No. Hey, I want all these guys to have my spring ankle manual, so you guys can pay me for it, and I'll give it. I'm teasing. I'll give everybody here one, all right? However many codes. So I got a complete book on all this. You don't have to worry about it. I'll send it to these guys. Will you get them the codes, Luke? You'll get them the codes? Perfect. Yeah, and then I got a peaking manual that we'll do too. How much time do I have yet? 15 minutes. It's not enough, brother. So, and then I would like to show you guys the way I would like teach a sport-specific squat, maybe. How I do it. It's a lot different. Yes? Okay, yes. And it's in the manual. So you want me to clarify the toe curl part. So
all those positions with toe flat and also toe curl.
Yep.
And then are you putting something under the toe?
Yeah, I did in one of these videos, I think. You know what I did? Right here. I just put a little piece of, I took like a gym floor and I cut a dowel in half because I found my athletes were struggling to hold that short foot position with the toe. So I just cut a dowel, I glued it to, like a 1-inch dowel, glued it, I cut it in half and then glued it to the mat, and then I put that in there when they were curling their toe. Does that make sense? And that's where I found them. Now look, so if this is the arch of the foot, if this is the heel, the arch goes up and we're going down to the toe, plantar fasciitis, what happens is this arch collapses upon impact, and then the toe and this reshortens and comes back up. With that collapse, because you're not strong, okay, all the tissue down there gets stretched and then you have to reshorten it to run. I found that's the case. That's what's happening in a lot of my plantar fasciitis athletes. So if you can make them strong and they don't collapse upon impact, if they have an extensor arch and a strong flexor arch, then they're less likely to get plantar fasciitis. Because people look at my stuff and like, how much, you do a lot of jumping, a lot of things. I'm like, yeah, but I don't get any of that problem, okay? This is the people I've seen, this happens to them when they come and they have this problem, okay? And my opinion, they're just not strong enough to hold that. Now, the other aspect of my training, I don't know if I can draw it, I may need to show you, but if this is the ball of the foot and this is the toe, when we squat down, we are lifting our toes up. Okay? On the way down, when my athletes squat down, they're lifting their toes up. I don't squat on the balls of my feet. I don't squat on my heels. I've never squatted on my heels for 20 years. I know that's what a lot of powerlifters think. And look, it's great for powerlifting, but I got a whole team of women that will beat every 1,000-pound squatter in a 20-yard dash that I've seen, right? If you want to roll out a 1,000-pound squatter and see if you can beat, I would say at least the powerlifting squatters, maybe not the Olympic lifters, okay, because they look a little bit more athletic. But, and she doesn't want to squat more than 225 on her back. She can beat you in a 20-yard dash, and you squat 1,000, right? And they can't run either, so they walk like this, you know what I'm saying? You've seen them. They're not very athletic. And I love powerlifting. I love watching it. It's really good.